So on this one, all you have to do is graph. So make sure that you graph the inequality exactly like it looks. So delete 6. Make sure you type it in, 5x plus 3y. And then control equal, you got less than or equal to. And you got 15. Enter. So on this one, the shading is down automatically. So you know these two are gone. So it's one of those two. Now, on it, you know that there's a solid line as well. So this one, you can tell it is a solid line. This one has a solid line. This one is dotted. So that can't be it. It was this one right here. So make sure you look at everything very, very, very carefully. Okay, on the next one, we just have to set up the equation and see which one it belongs to. So you have the word product. Product means that you're going to multiply. So where you see the and, okay, product, you're going to put the times right there. So 6 times a number, so 6n. And then you've got the word decrease by, so decrease by is minus 10. And then you have is no less than. So is no less than, it's not less, it's greater than or equal to 30. And then you just find the equation that matches. Now make sure that you have 6 next to n. That's what you want to make sure that you have that number next to the variable, and you want to make sure that you have this inequality. On number 12, you're going to graph it. Now this one, notice on this equation, and this is the same one, I just made it bigger so you could see it. This line right here is this graph, but you want to graph this one because of the inequality. So make sure that you graph that one. So in the calculator, all right, so control dot, go to 2, and then delete 6. Oh, here we go. Control dot, go to 2, go to 2, sorry about that. And then delete 6. So you got 4x minus 2y, and then control equal less than or equal to 8. Enter. Now, you had that line, but you just need to shade it. So shade the top part, okay? Now the question is, which of the ordered pairs is in the solution set? So I need to graph these, okay? So 0, 6, you're going to stay and you're going to go down. So 0, negative 6 would be right here. So that is a no. Negative 3 and then negative 5. So negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a yes. That's a fit. 6, 1, you go to the right and up 1. So 6, 1, that's definitely a no. And then 1, negative 4, you go to the right and down 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is definitely a no. So the only one that worked was B. All right, number 13. So it says you want to solve when y is 6. So remember, wherever y is, you're going to replace it, parentheses 6. Okay? Now the nice thing about this is that you can put it on your calculator just like that. So control doc, go to 2, delete 6. So you're going to say 10x, and then minus 2, parentheses 6. So make sure you do that whole thing, and then control equal, which is less than or equal to 8. So you just type that whole thing in and hit enter, and then do menu 5, 1. So you know the answer is 2, and you know you have your x. It's going this way. So remember, when it's going this way, you're going to use that inequality, okay? So it's less. And there is a line, so make sure that you put a line underneath it, okay? On number 14, given the equation negative x plus 5 and the domain, find the range. Remember, when you have domain and range, think about doctor. So that's your x and that's your y, okay? So my domain is negative 3, negative 1, and 7. So I need to graph. Okay. So when I go to graph, on this one, I do not need to, control doc, go to 2, I do not need to delete 6 on this one. So I'm just gonna plug in negative x plus 5. Just type it in exactly like it looks, enter, and then do menu 5, 1. Okay, so menu 5, 1. Then you're gonna plug in the numbers. So the very first thing I'm gonna plug in is negative 3, and negative 3 goes with 8. So it's 8. And then I'm gonna plug in a negative 1. Negative 1 goes with 6. And then I'm going to plug in a 7. So plug in a 7, and 7 goes with negative 2. So my domain, my range, would be 8, 6, and negative 2. If I put them in order from least to greatest, it would be negative 2, 6, and 8. And you'll see the curly brackets when it wants a set. Number 15, this is one of the most missed on the question, on the benchmark. The 0 is where it touches the x-axis. So you just go along the x and you look to see where that line touches the x. And it touches right there at negative 4. So my answer is negative 4. That's it. That's where it touches. That's all they want. Now on the very last one, there will be some questions that ask you to analyze. So you want to graph this first. So in order to analyze it, you need to graph it. Now, I need to delete 6 because x and y are on the same side. So delete 6. And so you're going to put in 10x minus 2y, and then is less than or equal to 8. And then hit enter. Now, this is my graph. I want to put that graph on here. So I want the y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here. So menu 5, 1. My y-intercept is at negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's negative 4. So my y-intercept is negative 4. The 0 of function, remember that's where it touches the x. So the 0 is where it touches the x-axis. So that is 0.8. 0 and 8 tenths. Okay? Now, is it increasing or decreasing? So it is increasing. I start low and I go up higher. Okay? So that's definitely an increasing function. And the slope. The slope, if it's a regular equation, then you can find slope by looking at it. If it's x and y where you have to delete 6, you need to find 2 points. So I'm going to go back to that 0, 0, negative 4. So I can find the 0, negative 4. And then I'm going to type in like a 2, so 2, 6. And I could have used any 2 points I want to, and then I'm going to subtract and swing. So 2 minus 0 is 2. 6 minus negative 6. So you can do that on your calculator if you need to. 6 minus, negative 4, I said the wrong thing, which is 10. And then you divide by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my slope is 5. So it will be a true, false. And all you have to do is just look at it, answer those questions, and then you can determine if they're true or false.